The verb tener is one of two verbs in the Spanish language that mean to have. Tener is used to express age, possession, physical sensations, obligations, relationships, and idiomatic expressions. The verb tener is an irregular stem-changing verb. It's highly irregular in the first-person form, the yo form. It's stem-changing in the second-person singular, the tu form, the third-person singular, él, ella, and usted form, and the third-person plural, the ellos, ellos, and ustedes form. Let's start by reviewing our personal pronouns. In the first person singular, we have yo, meaning me or I. We have the second person singular, tu, which means you. The third person singular, él, ella, or usted, usted being the formal you. The first person plural, we have nosotros and nosotras, meaning we or us. The second person plural, vosotros or vosotras, meaning you all, used primarily in Spain and Argentina. And the third person plural, ellos, ellas, and ustedes, the formal you all, or you all in general in Latin America. Remember that every time we conjugate a verb, the context in which we're trying to use the verb will relate to one of these 6 pronouns. Therefore, each conjugation conjugates to the pronoun here in this chart. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, ellos, ellas, and ustedes. The verb tener follows the following conjugation. The first person singular, yo form, tengo, yo tengo, I have. Second person singular, tú tienes, you have. Third person singular, él, ella, or usted, formal you, formal second person, tiene. First person plural, nosotros, nosotras, tenemos, we have. Second person plural, you all have. Vosotros, vosotras, tenéis. And third person plural, ellos, ellas, and ustedes, formal you or you all in general, tienen, they have or you all have. In the Spanish language, we have what are called stem-changing verbs. Stem-changing verbs don't follow the typical regular conjugations that regular verbs follow. They change their stem, and the change usually occurs within what we call the boot. The changes occur in the first person singular, second person singular, third person singular, and third person plural. Outside of the boot, in the first person plural and second person plural, the verbs do not change their stem. The verb tener is not only stem changing, but also irregular in the first person singular form. That is, it doesn't follow the typical stem change that happens in the other 3 forms, but rather has an orthographic change. In the case of tener, the first person singular becomes tengo, yo tengo, I have. The verb tener, while irregular in the first form, carries stem changes in its second person singular, third person singular, and third person plural forms. That is, second person, tú tienes, you have. Third person singular, él, ella, or usted, second person formal, tiene, he, she, or you formal, have. And third person plural, ellos, ellas, and ustedes, tienen, they have, or you all have. While irregularities and stem changes occur inside of the boot, in the first person, second person, and third person singular, and third person plural, outside of the boot, in the first person plural and second person plural, there are no stem changes. Thus, these forms of the verb conjugated are in the regular forms. We use the verb tener to express age instead of the verbs ser or estar. Examples are tengo 12 años, I am 12 years old, or more appropriately and accurately, I have 12 years. ¿Cuántos años tienes? How old are you? Or how many years do you have? Mi abuelo tiene 80 años. My grandfather is 80 years old. Nosotros tenemos 30 años, pero parecemos más jóvenes. We are 30 years old, but we look younger. Remember that you will not use ser or estar to talk about age, but rather some conjugated form of the verb tener. We also use the verb tener to talk about possession. We use it to indicate ownership or possession of objects, people, and abstract things. For example, tengo un coche nuevo. I have a new car. Mi hermano tiene un gato blanco. My sister has a white cat. ¿Tienes dinero para el cine? Do you have money for the movies? Tenemos una casa grande. We have a big house. Él tiene muchos amigos en la escuela. He has many friends at school. Again, you'll use tener to talk about owning things or having things in your possession. We use tener also to talk about sensations and physical feelings. We use to describe physical states like hunger, thirst, cold, heat, sleepiness, and even fear. For example, tengo hambre. I am hungry, or I have hunger. ¿Tienes sed? Are you thirsty? Or do you have thirst? Él tiene frío porque está nevando. He is cold because it's snowing. Tenemos calor en el verano. We are hot in the summer. ¿Por qué tienes sueño? Why are you sleepy? Mi hermano tiene miedo de los perros. My brother is afraid of dogs. We use tener to talk about obligations. We use it to express obligation or necessity, things we must do or have to do. I want you to remember that tener plus que in its conjugated form is the full conjugated verb. Therefore, if a verb follows tener plus que, that verb must be in its infinitive form. For example, tengo que estudiar para el examen. I have to study for the exam. ¿Tienes que trabajar mañana? Do you have to work tomorrow? Ella tiene que hacer la tarea. She has to do her homework. Tenemos que limpiar la casa antes de la fiesta. We have to clean the house before the party. Mi padre tiene que pagar las cuentas hoy. My dad has to pay the bills today. Remember that when you have tener plus que, those two words combined, no matter how you conjugate tener, the two words combined are the conjugated form. Thus, any verb that follows must be in its infinitive form. The verb tener is also used for idiomatic expressions. Many idiomatic expressions in Spanish use tener even though English uses to be, ser or estar. For example, tengo razón, I am right. No tienes razón, you are wrong. Ellos tienen suerte, they are lucky. ¿Tienes paciencia con los niños? Do you have patience with the kids? Quiero tener éxito en la vida. I want to be successful in life. No tienes vergüenza. You have no shame. We use tener to discuss relationships, how people relate to us or how we are related to people, our connections to people, and at times even emotions. For example, tengo una novia muy simpática. I have a very nice girlfriend. ¿Tienes muchos amigos en la escuela? Do you have many friends at school? Mi primo tiene una esposa colombiana. My cousin has a Colombian wife. Tenemos cuidado a cruzar la calle. We are careful when crossing the street. Él tiene celos de su hermana. He is jealous of his brother. Age. Años, years. Viejo, old. Joven, young. Niño, child. Bebé, baby. Adulto, adult. Possession. Libro, book. Coche, car. Dinero, money. Casa, house. Teléfono, phone. Trabajo, job. Computadora, computer. Perro, dog. Gato, cat. Amigo, friend. Tiempo, time. Sensations and physical feelings. Hambre, hunger. Sed, thirst. Frío, cold. Calor, heat. Sueño, sleepiness. Miedo, fear. Prisa, hurry. Ganas, desire. Fiebre, fever. Obligations. Estudiar, to study. Trabajar, to work. Hacer, to do. Limpiar, to clean. Pagar, to pay. Cocinar, to cook. Comprar, to buy. Escribir, to write. Practicar, to practice. Idiomatic expressions. Razón, reason. Suerte, luck. Paciencia, patience. Éxito, success. Vergüenza, shame. Confianza, confidence. En cuenta, in mind. Relationships and emotions. Novio, boyfriend. Novia, girlfriend. Esposa, wife. Esposo, husband. Amigos, friends. Cuidado, care. Celos, jealous. Envidia, envy. Odio, hatred. Familia, family. Let's take one more look at a couple examples for each case that you would use tener. Possession. Tengo un coche. I have a car. Tienes un teléfono. You have a telephone. Age. Tengo 20 años. I am 20 years old, or I have 20 years. ¿Cuántos años tienes? How old are you, or how many years do you have? Physical states. Tengo hambre. I am hungry. Tienes frío. You are cold. Obligations. Tener que plus the infinitive, meaning you have something to do. Tengo que estudiar. I have to study. Tienes que trabajar. Do you have to work? Idiomatic expressions. Tengo suerte. I'm lucky. I have luck. No tienes razón. You are not right. You have no reason. Relationships and emotions. Tengo una novia. I have a girlfriend. Tienes celos. You are jealous. Remember that tener is used in a broad spectrum of ways that can really increase your ability to communicate with others. Take your time, get to know the ways in which you'll use them, and don't allow yourself to fall in the trap of thinking that you can replace tener with verbs like estar and ser, because they are not interchangeable in the cases that we reviewed in this video here.